Friends, digital transactions have made our lives easy. But is our money safe? With cutting edge technology, operating bank accounts and making fund transfer is relatively easy today. However, should we be worried about online scams that we routinely hear about? Can our accounts be compromised? Frauds like phishing, smishing, and more. Are our banking systems foolproof to these scams? Such questions must be answered, and through today's episode, I'll try doing it. Most of us are not technology savvy. Hence, do we even realize that when we receive a text message or an SMS or an email that it could be fake? There are several ways to fool and rob money. Some fraudulent practices include identity theft, phishing, cloning, smishing, and wishing. Our mobile number is common to all these types of frauds. Access to the mobile phone, knowingly or unknowingly, opens gates to a financial fraud. That is the first step. The text messages that we receive could be phishing, scams via SMS. It is called smishing since SMS messages are used. It is similar to catching fish by throwing bait into the water. It is used to lure a part with personal or financial information. The smishing messages are disguised, where the scamsters impersonate government agencies, banks, or other companies, lending authenticity to their actions. Most times, you are asked to provide usernames, passwords, credit and debit card numbers, PINs, and other sensitive information. Now, instead of SMS messages, if someone calls you for similar details, posing as a bank official, it's called wishing. They will promise to transfer money directly to your account under some lottery scheme or maybe as prize money. The message typically says, your account can be credited with rupees a lakh. Enter your details and check now. They may provide a link and you may be asked to click on it. Believe me, if you click on this link, you'll be milked dry. We also receive a message routinely from various agencies and banks that say, government agencies, banks, and other legitimate companies never ask for personal or financial information. Treat this as a serious message and never ever click on any links which are suspicious messages and which you may receive as SMS on your mobile. Do not even ask the sender to stop contacting you. If you reply, it means that your phone is active and you read such messages. Clicking the link will only infect your mobile with a virus malware designed to steal your personal and financial information stored on it. Further, it will trigger more messages in future. It's better to delete such SMSs immediately after reporting to the bank, of course, or to the customer care number mentioned on the reverse side of the card. When you receive an email and if you happen to click on the link, verify the URL on the site that it leads to. Check if there is S at the end of HTTP. It should be HTTPS on the URL, indicating that it's a secure site. Also check if there is a padlock symbol at the right corner of the browser or maybe at the bottom corner as well of the browser window, which ensures a security certificate for that website. Above all, remember the proverb, curiosity kills the rat. So don't be curious. As per the data released by the Reserve Bank of India, the country was hit by over 50,000 bank frauds in the last decade, 10 years. The ICICI, SBI, HDFC banks have all reported several such cases. Now, of the total 70,000 cases of frauds reported during the last decade involving a massive 2 lakh crores and above, almost 6,800 were reported by the ICICI Bank alone, involving almost 5,000 crores. Now, we must be extra vigilant while using credit and debit cards, especially at the ATMs, hotels or malls where card swiping machines are used. Scamsters can clone the card, a process of copying card details using technology and software and transferring it to another card. So you duplicate the card. Devices that allow one to do cloning are also called skimmers. A mobile repairer can also clone if he is into such practices. So be careful with them. Now one needs an ATM PIN to actually withdraw money, even if one manages to clone the card. Now where does he get that from? It's very simple. There is generally a camera installed near the keypad to capture the same. There is another way of cloning called SIM swap. The scamsters managed to get a new SIM card issued against a registered mobile number, though the mobile service provider may avoid such things. After this, they will receive an OTP on the fake SIM card. Now there is another way of cloning called SIM swap. The scamsters managed to get a SIM card issued against a registered mobile number through the mobile service provider. After this, they will receive an OTP on the fake SIM card and start withdrawing funds from the bank account. Whatever be the mode, they are all called identity thefts. Though most of the banks keep improving the security measures, is it really only up on us to follow the basic security rules? Should banks bear some of the cost? Is phishing problem not a shared responsibility? Why should only the customers suffer? Does their responsibility end after sending a warning message? Should it not be a shared responsibility between the customers, the bankers, the banks, and the businesses? However, the challenge is detecting fraudulent transactions even as we assume that the bank security systems were in place and are also operational. The fraudulent websters and fraudsters are all outside the bank system. Unfortunately, the banks seem to be alerted to the scam only when customers notify them of suspicious transfers. The RBI issues periodically the master direction on digital payment security controls and updates them, the last being in 2021. Though there are guidelines that say financial institutions should actively monitor for phishing campaigns targeting the financial institutions and its customers, that the immediate action should be taken to report phishing attempts to service providers to facilitate the removal of malicious content or alert its customers of such campaigns and advise them of security measures to adopt for what? To protect against phishing. Even saying all this, there is still a lot missing that has to be said. Can these guidelines form a basis on which legal liabilities are determined? For the record, no reported cases were ever brought to the courts based on the breach of these guidelines. Should we relook at the law stipulating greater responsibility on the parts of the banks to address phishing? Friends, even if the bank's security was proper, are systems outside the bank that monitor them adequate and functioning? If this were to be done effectively, Would it amount to mimicking the bank's websites and monitoring personal mobiles and SMS systems? Does it become a privacy issue then? There are artificial intelligence algorithms to monitor. Would using them affect tracking confidentiality? We need privacy, and that's paramount. But trading privacy for a little more comfort is the catch. Friends, whatever be the security followed, it is necessary that the users are adequately educated and are responsible enough to follow the guidelines. With that, I end today's episode with a promise that I'll be back the next Saturday. And until then, thank you, dhanyavad, and namaskar.